PK here. Today I'm here to talk about the 7th Saga, also known as Elnard, for the Super NES. When I was living in California, I would periodically go down to this game store, which was right next to Denia's Flea Market in Roseville, called Trader Dan's. I picked up this game I had never heard of, but it looked kind of interesting and the guy said it was an RPG, so I was very intrigued, and I had to give this game a try. The game was developed by Enix, whose claim to fame, of course, was the Dragon Warrior and Dragon Quest games. Enix later on merged with Squaresoft to become Square Enix. This game does use the number 7 quite frequently throughout the game, which is probably why in America it's called the 7th Saga. So let's check out the gameplay. In the 7th Saga, you can choose to play as one of 7 different protagonists, each with different movesets and stats. There's a knight who is the most average and well-rounded character, a priest, an alien, a magical elf, a demon, a dwarf who's similar to the knight, except he has an axe and is a little more powerful, and a 5,000-year-old Tetujin, which is a race of robot. The battling system is pretty standard. Just like a lot of RPGs of its time, it's a turn-based system where you have different attacks and spells. Your character uses hit points and magic points and can run away from battles and things like that. The game also uses a Mode 7 graphic effects to create the transition between exploration screen and battle screens. In other words, when you're exploring, it's a top-down game. When you transition to battle enemies, it shows your character in the third person. Now for the story. The game takes place on a world called Tikondera. 5,000 years ago, a divine being named Sero defeated an evil entity named Gorsha with the power of the 7 runes. In the years since then, the runes have been scattered throughout the world. Lamiel, the son of Sero, was born 100 years before the beginning of the game, and became a hero when he defeated the demon Geriso. Now 100 years old, Lamiel has become the benevolent and powerful ruler of the world. King Lamiel calls on these 7 people from all different walks of life around the world together to go on a quest for him to find the 7 magical runes. Whoever finds all 7 will become the heir apparent. After 5 years of training, the king sends them on their quest. You explore all the different continents and towns trying to find these runes. Each rune possesses a great power that can be used by the person who wields it. To find the runes, the king gives each character a crystal ball to assist them in their search. This is really great because you can see where the enemies in the game are coming from using the crystal ball, so the battles in the game are less random, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, the enemies are very quick, which makes combat pretty much unavoidable. What was unique about this game is that you will run into the other 6 guys on your quest. Some of them will want to be cool with you and even want to join your party. Gameplay-wise, it's best to go it alone, because when someone joins your party, you have to share experience points gained with the said party member, which ultimately is going to slow down your overall progression in the game. And then some of them will want to kick your ass. Some of these guys end up being bonus boss battles. Sometimes you'll get to one of the runes, and one of the other guys will beat you to it. So basically you have to go track them down and take it from them. In this game, getting the runes means you'll have to take on tyrants who are in possession of these runes, which include wizards, kings, and dragons. On top of that, all you guys are being hunted down by a bounty hunter named Pyson, who's as persistent as the Terminator. Who has hired such a bounty hunter, you might ask? One of the other 6 is a traitor. Who, you might ask? I don't know. The identity of the traitor is randomized with each new game. After defeating the resurrected Gorsha and collecting all 7 runes, you return to see the king. You would like to think that after this point it's all over and the world will be safe and life is good. You would be wrong. The king reveals himself to actually be Gorsha. Gorsha traveled to the present from 5,000 years in the past, killed the king, and stole his identity. then recruited the 7 of you to locate the runes for him. You have been duped. The power of each rune is actually a divided up, trapped portion of Gorsha's power. Gorsha destroys the runes, takes his power back, and then shoots you with lightning and sends you back 5,000 years into the past. After passing through several towns, you end up in the technologically advanced city of Melanem, which actually has 7 letters in its name, interestingly enough, which originally you explored the ruins of earlier in the game. Melanem is actually where the Tetsugen robots were created. Ironically, you get a nice front row seat to the destruction of the city at the hands of some rogue super Tetsugens created by the city's scientists to take out Gorsha. You learn that although Sero has recently defeated Gorsha, Gorsha has come back from the future and wounded Sero. Sero's disciples give you the 7 runes, which you use to seal Gorsha's power and eventually defeat him. To add insult to injury to all the things Gorsha's put you through, he actually kills you as his last act of defiance. 4,900 years later, Sero reincarnates your soul as a young baby and Sero's son, none other than Lamille. There is one huge plot hole, and that is, if you use a Tetsugen robot, how exactly would a robot get reincarnated into a human body? Then again, Sero is a god, and I suppose he can do whatever the heck he pleases. There you have it, folks, the 7th Saga. This game is extremely difficult and I could not finish it. By the time you get to the final area in this game, there are enemies who can kill you in one shot. Yeah, that's how serious it's gotten. This game requires a lot of grinding, or basically spending a lot of time leveling up your character. This game has a notorious reputation for extreme difficulty, and it's well deserved. If you've never played an RPG, do not play this game. Play a game like Super Mario RPG Legend of the 7 Stars, which is a really awesome game, by the way, and one of my favorite games ever. I mean, it was the first Super NES game I ever actually beat, so it's a game I hold in high esteem and high dearly, and if you're new to RPGs, I highly recommend playing Super Mario RPG Legend of the 7 Stars. If you're new to RPGs, I do not recommend you play the 7th Saga. This is more of a big boy or big girl RPG, not for the faint of heart or RPG newbies. If you're an RPG fanatic, this game is worth a look. Overall, I give it a 7.77 out of 10. In spite of its difficulty level, it has good gameplay, a great story, and incredible replay value, making this game truly an overlooked Super NES gem. That's all the time I have for today, folks. Please like and subscribe, check out the PK's Retro Review Facebook page, and keep on gaming.